What's up, everybody? Mike Dolce, four-time world MMA trainer of the year. Today, I want to talk about something simple that we all deal with. Male, female, 15, 115 years old, rich, poor, black, white, every color, every perspective. We all deal with this same thing uniformly, right? No discrimination here. We are all suffering from back fat. Back fat, you know, the ooze, the pudding that hangs over the back of your pants. You can feel it likely right now if you kind of bounce up and down just a little bit. You feel it kind of stretching the elastic in your pants. You know what I'm talking about? That back fat. It's not bad. We all have it. It's kind of sexy at some times for some people at certain, amounts, right? So it's okay to have back fat. I'm not back fat shaming, but what I do want to do in this video is help you understand what it is, what causes it, and how you can control it, reduce it, even use it to shape the contours of your physique. So back fat is fat, just like all other fat on your body. Fat is basically a cell. Picture a pillowcase. Now, you can have a pillowcase that's filled with nothing and it rolls up real easy, and you can fold it and fold it and fold it until it disappears into a tiny little square even, right? But once you start to fill the pillowcase with cotton, all of a sudden you can't really fold the pillowcase anymore. Fat is simply a batch of pillowcases. Now, the less fat we have individually, the easier these pillowcases shrink down, these fat cells shrink down. I will say, you cannot reduce the amount of fat cells you have. If you have 100 fat cells right now in your body, you will always have 100 fat cells, never less, but sometimes more. And this is the scary thing. As your weight increases, as you gain non-functional body fat, you can create more fat cells. You have 100 fat cells, 100 pillowcases, and they're now filled to the brim with all that cotton to the point they can't fold, and they're busting at the seams. They will then create a brand new fat cell based upon the storage signal that you are sending through your lifestyle, through your caloric surplus, through your lack of activity, through your health condition, through your lifestyle, through your poor sleeping, through your toxic environment you're living in, through your anxiety, through your digestive issues, through all of these things that are happening right now. And I want to help you understand these and then create a lifestyle where you can lose your back fat, right? Hopefully this is easy. I want this to be as easy as possible for everyone watching right now to understand. And if you like this type of information, if you want more of this, simply bang, bang, give this video a like and leave a comment below so I understand I'm here for you. What do you want? And I know we all want less back fat. Easy topic for a video, right? So now we basically know what fat is. Now, back fat accumulates on our back, on our love handles and around the donut area and lower pec line and back of shoulders and bra straps and saddlebags and cellulite under the ass cliff, like all of that. Well, that's fat too. But now back fat stored on the waistline, the outer kind of more rear side of the waistline, then it kind of grows up our hip and blends into just this big pear shape, right? The pear is formed, the bottom of the pear is kind of that back fat, where it starts as flat pillowcases, essentially empty, 100 empty pillowcases, flat and folded. So your skin is super tight. So you can just store those 100 pillowcases into a tiny little area. Takes up no real mass, right? So we don't have, as we start to, from 100 empty pillowcases to 99 empty and 1 full, 2 full, 3 full, 100 full, what happens? All of a sudden, those pillowcases packed away in the pantry, in the closet, they explode out and they start to stress the exterior around them. Your skin starts to get pushed out as they grow, right? Continues to push out. Now, As that happens, the pear shape kind of bulbous begins. Now, right now, what can you do? Well, the only thing to reduce back fat is to lose body fat. To lose body fat, you have to start to reduce body fat so those individual pillowcases will start to let go of cotton, because cotton is the greatest form of energy per se. So the cotton actually will be redistributed back as an energy substrate, to which it really is. That's all fat is. Fat is just stored energy. Fat is stored energy. Back fat is like a camel's humps, right? Camels have those humps and they hold water. That's how they can live. They've adapted to live in the environment, the arid, the desert. Well, you're adapting your body. You're evolving your body. You're signaling your body to store energy for a later use that you likely will never use, or you haven't used it yet, which is why you have excessive levels of body fat or back fat. Now, maybe you don't. Maybe you just have the beautiful curve. You like your shape, all that stuff. That's awesome. Good for you. Pay attention, because this video will be helpful in just concepts, right? We're talking about back fat, but the big concept is here, the money shot, you have to lose total body fat. Here's the problem with back fat. Back fat, we categorize as gender-specific, stubborn body fat. Now, we say gender-specific because there are certain stubborn body fat pockets that are most common in males and females. And there is a hormonal component to this. There is a genetic component to this. There is an evolutionary, a special component to this. Now, with that being said, that's not arbitrary. Some guys get kind of this upper back fat, and some ladies get more midsection and torso fat, which is most common amongst men. Most ladies get fat kind of below the waistline, and you see that quite a bit, kind of real like thick girls with tiny waists. And you see guys with like veins running through their calves and like really muscular legs, but these big round kind of, pear-shaped bodies. What's going on here? We see that a lot. So take that for what it is. It's just good to understand some of the terminology that we use here. Now, this stubborn body fat, gender-specific stubborn body fat, your stubborn body fat is stubborn for a variety of reasons. The number one issue it's stubborn is because you're likely eating in a surplus. If you do not first start eating a properly calibrated diet for your needs that fulfills all your micronutrient requirements and then is balanced at the proper macronutrient ratio to help you achieve the goals you're trying to achieve, you're broing it out in the gym, lifting weights all the time, or maybe you're more of just like a long distance jogger putting in 6 to 10 miles a few times a week. I know a lot of fat, pardon me, use the term, or poorly compositioned. How about this? The PC way to say it. I see many runners that have very poor body composition, surprisingly high levels of body fat, simply because they have that type of activity and simply because the bros are in the gym. That's not the issue. Nutrition is the issue. Nutrition is the issue. Most important thing to your fat loss, my friends, is nutrition. For body composition, it's nutrition. Now, I could say that, well, the most important thing for strength is lifting weights more so than, well, we could make that argument. The thing most important to running longer distances is actually running long distances. That's fine. But with regard to body composition, with regard to total human performance, a proper nutrition program, a lifestyle centered around high net nutrient foods, this is the key. If you're not starting there, you're just piecemealing a non-structure together, right? If you're not starting at a high net nutrient intake of high quality food sources that will fulfill your micronutrient needs while providing the macronutrient ratios to maintain the current level of muscle mass that you have, or build more muscle progressively over time through the stimulation you're providing through your resistance training, the signaling you're providing with the proper nutrients in place, well, you can facilitate that. Or you can maintain this level of muscle mass, which we always strive to do on our 3 weeks to shred it program. Number one, how do we build muscle? How do we build muscle? That's what we say when we're going to work with anyone's fat loss, weight loss program. Number one, how do we build muscle? Let's not do anything that jeopardizes that. Now, how do we get freaking peeled out, yoked, shredded, on weight, ready for world-class competition? Remember, we have a 100% success ratio, getting the world's greatest athletes on weight, on time, every time for over 20 years. I've been doing this for over 20 years. Google me, bro, right? So I say that to be funny, but I say that because my resume is out there, right? So the stuff that I'm saying right now, man, you better listen and it's valid. I'm someone who's been doing it at the higher levels than nearly, there is no higher level to where I've been working for longer than anyone else, 20 plus years with a 100% success ratio. There's other teams that can go, there's some teams that some individuals that can't go a month without critical failure. Never a year. 2 years? Impossible. A decade? No, over two decades. I say that so hopefully you do pay attention to the simplicity of what I am offering to you. You embrace that, you implement that, and then you dramatically change your life. And you're no longer jumping from all the fads constantly. What's the newest fad right now? Right? Who was just on Rogan's podcast? That's going to become a new fad for sure. For sure. Got to sell another book, right? Sell another book, right? It's funny how every 3 years or so, and what did I say? That's a whole nother conversation. I'll talk about this more. I'm going to go through a rant on pop culture fitness and fitness marketers prancing around as fitness experts. That's a whole nother thing. But for the purpose of this video, let's finish off here. Now, body fat loss, that's important. Lifestyle, that's important. It's going to take more time to lose your back fat because it is stubborn. It is likely the first area you will accumulate fat tissue, and it is the last area you will actually release it. Now, why is that? Well, it's stubborn for a multitude of reasons. We could get into the biochemistry, and we'll briefly touch on that. We'll speak about how psychology has a dramatic impact on your biochemistry. So the more stressed out you are, the more toxic your lifestyle is, the more bad relationships and bad habits you have, the more in debt you are even. Well, the more body fat you're likely going to have, the more stubborn body fat you're likely going to have. There's a biochemical component to your emotional and psychological state and how well your body will actually work at the physiologic level. Just makes sense, right? Just makes sense. So number one, you can do that right now. Think about just kind of cleansing your life, purifying your life. This video, remember, is about getting rid of that back fat. What is this dude doing? The 4-time world MMA trainer of the year. What is he doing? Talking about cleansing my lifestyle. Where are the calories, brah? Where are the macros, brah? Where's the heart rate intervals, brah? I thought that's what you were going to talk about. That's what many people are sitting here maybe thinking right now. Now, many of you are now enlightened. You're becoming enlightened so you can understand the level at which I'm speaking and the information that I'm providing. This is the answer. This is the answer because you've already toiled with the macro ratios. You've gone from the no carb to the high carb to the vegan to the carnivore to the keto to the paleo to the fasting to the water fasting to the pills, the powders, the potions. You've all done it. Your peer group has done it. Your coworkers, your teammates, they've all done it. Guess what happened? You all look about the same or worse. 5 years later, you look worse, right? Everybody looks worse. Like 5 months later, everybody looks worse. We can kind of agree with that, right? We're at like 4 out of 5 American adults, we're right on that cusp now, are overweight into obesity. And I think nearly half are now considered to be obese, right? This is hockey sticking, this figure. So all the information out there, access to all these great diet plans, the newfangled way that your ancient ancestors ate, which is ideal for you. $19.99, Amazon.com right now. Blob it out to as many people who will allow me to blob it onto their show and put it out there as a narrative. And because you haven't had success with any of the other plan, there's the new shiny object that you will jump to instead of listening to the 4-time world MMA trainer of the year, 20 plus years with a 100% success ratio, having weighed 282 pounds and went all the way down to 169 and walk around at the perfect 210 pounds at over 40 years old in the best freaking shape of my life, crushing it. Simplicity is key. Purify your life. Wash away all the BS that you have going on. That's step one. Get your ass to bed earlier. Wake up earlier. Get in bed 9 hours before you have to wake up. Stop setting your damn alarm. If you go to bed early enough, you wake up well before the alarm. Stop that lifestyle. Stop living a day late for your life. You're always behind. Well, that leads to back fat. Get your shit in gear. Get your life in order. Real talk right now. This is the Trojan horse, right? I could just throw up some stupid macro ratio and just pretend like I'm doing a service to you, like most of my peers do. The fitness marketers, I should say, prancing as fitness experts. That's what they do. Here's an actual fitness expert telling you how it works, what you need to do, in my opinion. This is not medical advice, although my initials are MD. So to tie this up now, your lifestyle factors have a much, much greater impact on your body composition, specifically when we're targeting the most stubborn body fat areas that are plaguing you, right? The areas that are plaguing you, you must get your life in order or it's not even worth a shot. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. YOLO then. You want to make the gains. You want to see the results. You want to have the success. You want to be able to maintain this so your life becomes an evolution of progress, not a simple cycle of you falling off and sitting at the bottom of the barrel for 6 months or 6 years, self-loathing, 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 gaining the appropriate or the average 5 pounds per year, right? 10 years later, you're 50 pounds overweight from the weight you were already kind of overweight, right? So now you just went through being the borderline entry-level overweight to now you're into the obese category. And if we look at the world or the American population, that fact, I believe, clearly supports my statement here. Pretty easy to see how these generations just keep moving through these numbers, and these numbers keep growing when we look at the data. You have access to all the macro programs, all the fat burners, all the fitness marketers everywhere you go. What I will ask you, though, to ask them is why every 24 to 48 months, why every 36 months on average? Do they completely change what they told you to do? Why every 36 months or so on average, 3-4 years on average, what they sell you today, why is it completely different from when they sold you last time they were out speaking to you? They're not telling you the truth. We know that. Look at the stats. Look at the stats, right? 4 out of 5 now. It used to be 3 out of 4. It was 1 out of 2, right? Less. Going back in time. So now, tie it up. Easy answer. Get your lifestyle in order. Pay your bills on time. Love your family. Be a good person. Keep your room tidy. Get the brakes fixed on your car. Get your ass out of debt. Go to bed 9 hours before you're supposed to wake up. Wake up before your alarm clock goes off. Have precious, valuable, quiet time in your morning. Hydrate. Move your body. Fasted first thing. Put clean, healthful, high-quality nutrients into your body every 4 hours or so in even intervals. Small to medium-sized meals. Never overstuff yourself. Improve digestive efficiency. Reduce inflammation. Systemic inflammation starts in the microbiome. Easy, simple, predictable, well-tolerated meals of high net nutrient food sources. High-quality food sources. Spread evenly 4 times a day. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 5. 4 feedings per day. Exercise intensely, vigorously, with some form of resistance. Hopefully creating some sort of skill or pursuing some sort of skill while athletically expressing your body 3 times a week, 4, In time, 5, 6. Awesome. Bam. That right there. Stop. Full stop. If you just do that, we're not counting calories. We're not counting macros, right? We're not counting our steps. We're just tightening things up. Watch how dramatically your body changes. And then from there, that'll get you about 90% of the way that we think it'll be. 90% of the way within touch of perfection. That's getting onto an IFBB, NPC, bikini, bodybuilding stage, getting your first MMA fight or entering your first CrossFit Open or running your first 10K or going on a hiking the Appalachian Mountains or whatever else it might be. Live the life I said in the first 18 minutes of this video, and then you can do whatever you want. You can be a marathon runner, and 6 months later, you can enter a powerlifting competition because you will be that physically perfect, physically peak. That's what we call living lean. You will be living lean at that point. That is what we say when we want you to be living lean. The Living Lean book, the Living Lean program, the Living Lean workouts, the Living Lean meal plan, the Living Lean menu, the Living Lean cookbook. That's what we want you to be. Living lean gets you 80, 90% of anything. You can touch any goal once you're living lean. And that's the living lean lifestyle, kind of summarized in about 20 minutes or so. We started with back fat. That was the entry level. That's how you lose it. I can do deeper videos once you're 90% of the way there, because managing your cortisol level right now when you're doing everything else all fucked up, specific core toning, low back, erector, upper glute, training exercises to shape and sculpt. Yeah, I can do that. I do that all day too with clients who are already at the 90%. You got to do all the easy stuff, the easy lifestyle stuff first to get the greatest results. And then the last 10% is easy. If you're interested, click the links below. We got great links below. The Living Lean online program, 3 weeks to shredded. You can go to our shop books. You can book me for a one-on-one, or Professor Lindsay Howard, our lead dietitian, the DOLCE dietitian, or any other of our dietitian certified trainers that we have here on staff. I'm always available. Our leads are always available by your request. You can click those links below. But follow the advice of this video. It costs you nothing. Honestly, guys, it costs you nothing. Costs you nothing, and it works. It works better than anything else. It truly does. If it didn't, I would sell it to you, right? If I put it in a powder, if there was a specific macro ratio and that worked, I would sell it to you. Why wouldn't I? I'm giving you all this free content, free advice, telling you the truth. And yes, we have products and services available once you get to that point that you actually need it. But right now, you probably don't. You just need to get your shit in gear. So come on, let's get your shit in gear. I appreciate you guys for being here. And until next time, boom.